So today I'm going to have an interesting project. I received a ZL1 Style Side Skirts that obviously I'm going to install in my car, but before I do, they are unpainted, so I do have to do a little bit of prep work, get them painted in satin black, and then obviously install them. So let's take a look at what they look like, and also let me show you what are my steps for the prep that I'm going to take and how I'm going to install them. Alright guys, so here are the skirts. As you can see, the quality on them is pretty good. They don't really require a lot of prep work, but I'm going to show you a couple of things that I'm going to do with them, and let's see what else that I need for this install. So I got the Krylon satin black paint that I'm going to use for this. I'm going to do very light wet sanding with a 3000 grit sandpaper. Obviously the clamps to hold the side skirts in place. Got this little deburr tool, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to use this for. It's basically for the pre-drilled holes, just to clean them up a little bit, make sure there's no excess that's left on the outside of the holes. And these are the rivets that I'm going to use. These are 3/16 half-inch long. They're perfect fit, and I'll show you what it looks like on the skirt in just a second. And lastly, I am going to use my pneumatic riveter gun. It should speed things up a little bit over the a hand riveter. So I got this a while ago, haven't used it yet, so let's see how well it works actually. So just to show you what I meant by this deburring tool and the hole, as you can see here, it's not very clean. It's got a little bit of excess, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use this deburr tool, and as you can see, all the excess is gone, and it's got a really nice clean hole. And that's the rivet, fits perfectly right in. Doesn't have a lot of play at all, actually almost no play. Okay, alright, so without wasting too much time, let's get to the prep work. Alright, so I'm going to start deburring all these holes first, and then I'm going to start wet sanding the side skirts. So the top is finished. I'm going to flip them over and do the bottom portion. The main reason why I'm deburring these holes, and maybe some manufacturers already have done it to keep it nice and smooth, is primarily so that when the rivet before you put the rivet in, the rivet stays nice and flush against the skirt and doesn't have anything obstructing the nice and clean install. Basically, that's what it is. Alright, so let me do the bottoms, and I'll take a camera and I'll show you a little closer what it looks like.
Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me. I'll be cruising in my...
So this is what a deburred hole looks like. As you can see, it's nice and clean. Alright, so now I'm just gonna grab some soap and water, spray the side skirts, and do a very light wet sanding.
searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless. A sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just want.
Hey guys, so the side skirts are prepped. Due to the lack of the prepper work in the garage, full painting, I decided to do it in my backyard. I actually have enough walls to kind of block out the wind a little bit, so this should be fine. Alright, and let's start painting. First coat's on. Gonna let it dry for a few minutes and then start again. Alright, coat 2 is done. Coat 3 is coming up in a few minutes as soon as this thing cures a little bit. Hey guys, so I have about 4 coats on this thing. I think I'm done. I'm gonna let it sit for a few more minutes and then I'll show you how it came out. Alright guys, this is what it looks like after painting. I'm gonna let it sit for a few more minutes before taking it inside. Alright, next step, install. Alright, so the side skirts are ready to be installed, but taking a little break, getting some food ready for dinner. I have my smoker going. Gonna put some short ribs, get them ready for dinner. And I don't know about you guys, but I love barbecue. Definitely love the short ribs. And this will take a while, and so will the install. So I'm just going to get this thing set up, got the temperature going. While this is cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and do the install of the side skirts. Alright guys, so I already checked the car up. Got my clamps and the side skirt. I'm gonna mount it up and tighten it with the clamps for now and start marking things up and drilling holes. Alright, it's clamped right now. I'm gonna do minor adjustments and start drilling. Alright guys, passenger side is done. I hit a couple of little snags and I'll talk about them at the end of the video. But for now, let's go ahead and do the driver's side. Alright guys, so the side skirts are installed. The install was semi-straightforward. Alright, few notes. As you saw, I primarily used rivets. There were a couple of places where I had to use screws. And this is really weird actually, because first, so I installed obviously the passenger side first, as you saw. And both corners, or I should say both ends, are sticking out slightly. And if you look really close, you can actually see there's a slight gap. Not thrilled about it, but there's really not much I can do here. However, on the other side, it is absolutely perfect. So, which makes me believe basically that this side skirt probably was something wrong with the mold of it, or it may have been worked a little bit with the temperature and whatnot. So I'm not really sure exactly what it is. I mean, there's not much I can do at this point. I mean, it looks fine. You can't really see the gap unless you get close to it, but there is about slightly less than 1/4 of an inch gap on that end, and in the front it's probably about 1/8 of an inch. But along the rest of the edge, it's actually pretty perfect. So not a big deal. Again, like I said, the other side is absolutely perfect, no gaps. That's really it. So if I was to give any notes on the entire install, what I would basically recommend is, instead of using regular rivets, if you can find a rivet that sort of opens in, that would be much more helpful than your typical rivet that basically just squeezes and holds the two pieces together. Because this is plastic, and a very soft plastic at that, obviously. A couple of rivets I actually had to drill back out and re-rivet it, simply because basically it would just pop right through and sort of get expended in the middle between two pieces of plastic. So that's really the main point, if I was to give a pointer, if I will. Other than that, it's actually pretty straightforward. Definitely jack up your car, put it on the ramps, because you do need to drill and you need to rivet, whether you hand rivet it or like I did, was an air riveter. And that's it. It is, like I said, it is pretty straightforward. It looks substantially better than without it. And that's about it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully this is helpful for some of you. As always, don't forget to give thumbs up if you liked the video. Subscribe to the channel. Gonna go check on my barbecue, and I'll see you next time.